Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Tonight, we're hearing from chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 9, which says, Yajnatat karmano nyatra loko yam karma bandhana tadartam karma konteya mukta sangha samachara. And the translation of this verse, which is a very important verse, says, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. This is a very important verse. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Since one has to work even for the simple maintenance of the body, the prescribed duties for a particular social position and quality are so made that that purpose can be fulfilled. Yajna means Lord Vishnu, or sacrificial performance. All sacrificial performances also are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. The Vedas enjoin yajna by Vishnu. In other words, the same purpose is served whether one performs prescribed yajnas or directly serves Lord Vishnu. Krishna consciousness is therefore performance of yajna as it is prescribed in this verse. The Varnashrama institution also aims at satisfying Lord Vishnu. Varnashrama Charavata Purushena Parakpamam Vishnur Aradyate. Vishnu Purana 3.8.8. Therefore, one has to work for the satisfaction of Vishnu. Any other work done in this material world will be a cause of bondage, for both good and evil work have their reactions, and any reaction binds the performer. Therefore, one has to work in Krishna consciousness to satisfy Krishna or Vishnu, and while performing such activities, one is a liberated sage. This is the great art of doing work. And in the beginning, this process requires very expert guidance. One should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of a devotee of Lord Krishna, or under the direct instruction of Lord Krishna himself, under whom Arjuna had the opportunity to work. Nothing should be performed for sense gratification, but everything should be done for the satisfaction of Krishna. This practice will not only save one from the reaction of work, but also gradually elevate one to the transcendental loving service of the Lord, which alone can raise one to the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This verse, chapter 3, verse number 9, is all about the great arts of doing work. So, this is a specific thing, and it's very good to discuss this point. Some people saying, well, whatever I do, I do it for God, but that's not always true. What is the fact is that when one engages in devotional service under the advice and guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, then there's a good chance that that service will be accepted by Krishna as bona fide devotional service. And therefore, one will not have any karmic reaction for that type of work. That's why it's called the great art of doing work. That is, you're doing work without any material reaction. The only thing that's happening is that you're actually pleasing Krishna and meditating on Krishna and praying to Krishna so that there's no more karmic reaction. Whereas if you're just acting in the mode of goodness, there's going to be a karmic reaction. And what is that reaction? Well, it's good karma, but you're forced to come back to the material world because you in order to get the good results, you're not being liberated. But the great art of work is how to work without any reaction, neither good or bad. So here it says, let me just read it one more time, this verse. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, meaning Arjuna, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Okay, so there should not be any ulterior motive. The only motive should be to please Krishna with love and devotion of the service that you do. So this is the great art of doing work, where there's no karmic reaction, neither bad nor good. So basically, now the devotee who serves Krishna with love and devotion without asking anything in return and simply serving the Lord, uh, you know, uh, without asking for anything, then it becomes pure devotional service under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, and you will always remain free from bondage by acting like that. So this is a very important verse. This is explaining the great art of doing work without good or bad results. It's transcendental because there's no material motive. Now, that's not enough. There has to be, the motive has to be to please Krishna with love and devotion. There's one thing is to act without material motive, but there's another thing is when you act with love and devotion for Krishna. So even Mayavadis, they can act without material motive. But when we act with love and devotion and make offerings to the Lord with love and devotion, now it's not a mundane thing. The Mayavadis, their tapasya is mundane. They're working usually without love for the Lord, but they are following rules and regulations, or at least some of them. But when you have love and devotion for the Lord, it's a completely different thing. And one will be free, as it says here, you will always remain free from bondage. Why? Well, because Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. So, how to perform prescribed duties for the satisfaction for Krishna? That's what we learn by coming to class. And that's what we learn from bona fide spiritual masters. They'll teach us. I remember a long time ago, there was one devotee and he wanted to get initiated. So he wrote a letter to Prabhupada, but I asked him to show me the letter before he sent it. So he did. And I read the letter and I said, "You can't send this letter." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Because you're you're asking for something in this letter." Uh, and I said, "You're asking Prabhupada." You no. What he wrote was he wrote that he wanted to be liberated by surrendering to Srila Prabhupada. I said, if you write that, then Prabhupada will write back to me. They said, "What are you teaching these boys?" If they saw, that's not the goal. I made him rewrite the letter because if he sent that, then Prabhupada would have looked at it and what's going on there, the Harivilas and teaching some nonsense. So he did rewrite the letter and he did get initiated. But we have to be very careful, you know. It has, you have to have the guidance of bona fide devotees. Otherwise, you write a letter like that, and Prabhupada can tell right away we're not teaching the people properly. Okay, so in the same way, uh, it says the Varnashram institution also aims at satisfying Lord Vishnu. Varnashrama Charavata Purushena Parakpumam Vishnu Aragyate. So this is a verse from the Vishnu Purana. So that's the aim. The aim is to please Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Whenever it says Lord Krishna, it means the same thing as Lord Vishnu. It means the same thing as Krishna. So all sacrificial performances are meant for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. Even the word yagya means Lord Vishnu or sacrificial performances. All right, now how do you please Lord Krishna? Well, you please him by chanting Hare Krishna. That's number one way of pleasing him. Number two way of pleasing him is offering him very nice prasadam, and you offer it with love and devotion. And then you distribute it to the devotees. And number three, by glorifying the Lord. So you glorify the Lord, of course, by chanting Hare Krishna, but then also there are verses that glorify the Lord. Like, for example, if we go to uh, the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we have uh, some nice verses that glorify the Lord. For example, chapter 11, verse 24. Oh, all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you, this is Arjuna speaking, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance, seeing your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. And then it says,
I'm 36.
yeah, and it says, Arjuna says, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is done rightly. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. You are air, and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisance unto you 1,000 times, and again, and yet again. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. And it says, you are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation, of the moving and the non moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? And then you are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of a son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a wife the familiarity of her partner, please tolerate the wrongs that I may have done you. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with a club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. The Supreme Personality Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, happily I have shown you by my internal potency the supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. You see, Krishna speaking to Arjuna. That's what happens when you become a pure devotee. You can actually speak with to the Lord, and He'll speak back to you. Okay, so then Krishna says, "My dear Arjuna, This form of mind you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am, my dear Arjuna. Only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. These are beautiful verses. My
Is making it so clear.
yeah, yeah.
Cannot.
There's no other way. Yeah. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta, sangabharjita, nirvairak sarvabhute su, yastamam iti pandava. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activity and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Yeah. Mm. And then, of course, in the purport, uh, Prabhupada quotes, Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena krishnana silanam bhaktir uttamam. And this is a very important verse. We should all memorize this verse. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami clearly states that if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. He must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. One should think of Krishna and act for Krishna favorably, not unfavorably. Kamsa was an enemy of Krishna's. From the very beginning of Krishna's birth, Kamsa planned in so many ways to kill him. And because he was always unsuccessful, he was always thinking of Krishna. Thus, while working, while eating, and while sleeping, he was always Krishna conscious in every respect. But that Krishna consciousness was not favorable. And therefore, in spite of his always thinking of Krishna 24 hours a day, he was considered a demon. And Krishna at last killed him. Of course, anyone who is killed by Krishna attains salvation immediately. But that is not the aim of the pure devotee. The pure devotee does not even want salvation. He does not want to be transferred even to the highest planet, Goloka Vrindavana. His only objective is to serve Krishna wherever he may be. A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy, nirvaira. How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all the problems of life. He has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce this system, Krishna consciousness, into human society. There are many examples in history of devotees of the Lord who risked their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. The favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Of course, it would be superficial to understand that he was killed. Similarly, in India also, there are many examples, such as Thakur Haridasa and Prahlada Maharaj. Why such risk? Because they wanted to spread Krishna consciousness, and it is difficult. A Krishna conscious person knows that if a man is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. In such a way, a pure devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord. Now we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such persons must reach the supreme planet after leaving the body. In summary, the universal form of Krishna, which is a temporary manifestation, and the form of time, which devours everything, and even the form of Vishnu, four-handed, have all been exhibited by Krishna. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all these manifestations. It is not that Krishna is a manifestation of the original Vishvarupa or Vishnu. Krishna is the origin of all forms. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnus, but for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important, but the original form, two-handed Shyama Sundara. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to the Shyama Sundara form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within the heart and cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of this 11th chapter is that the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. Okay, so the Shamsundar form is the one that we should focus on always. And we see how important it is. And then in this verse, Mat Karma Krin, Mat Parama, Paramo, Mat Bhakta, Sangavarjita, Nirvairak Sarvabhute, Suryasatmam Eti Pandava. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. There it is. Formula how you can be completely successful in this lifetime. And it doesn't cost a penny. And you don't have to pay someone to teach you this. It's all given by Srila Prabhupada. That's why he's the greatest preacher. He's opening up all the secrets of Krishna consciousness so everyone can be benefited.
Yeah, interesting. Prabhupada directly takes from Rupa Goswami's translation, and then here when he translates Sangavarjita, the word Sangavarjita, basically that is Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam. He takes that and then directly plugs it in so that people don't misinterpret.
The people don't what?
Misinterpret. I mean, like, Sangavarjita can be, it's a generic meaning is like, just.
Is that in text 55?
Yeah. In the meanings, I'm just looking at the meanings.
Okay.
So if you
Sangavarjita, you're not pronouncing it right.
Sangavarjita.
Yeah, you didn't pronounce it right.
Oh, okay. I was saying Sangavarjita, it was saying the translation or the meaning Prabhupada gives a more specific meaning here. Freed from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation.
Yeah, wonderful.
And that is taken from the verse that you just read. Anyavilashata sunyam jnana karmadi anavrutam.
Yes. Well, that anya bilasita sunyam yanam karmadya navritam malakuyene krishna simam bhaktir uttama. This is a very important verse. It explains what is pure devotion. It's one of the most important verses in all the Vedic literatures. And it says, in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami clearly states that if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. He must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Yeah, just yesterday, when I was having some prasadam, I forget his name. I was talking to someone yesterday, and I was explaining to him how important it is to give up the association of materialistic people.
Ravi. Yeah, Ravi.
Ravi, yeah, Ravi. And I spoke about it a long time with him. I said it's really important that you cut off all relationship with the non-devotees. I said you can work professionally with non-devotees, right? But you should not, go to parties or see them eating meat and things like that. And it's very, very bad. I think he's still, hanging around with some people. I don't know for sure, but you see, here it is, right here. Uh, it says very clearly, he must be freed, the devotee must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. And he must be freed from, he must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates the knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Anukul yasya sankalpa pratikul yasya varjana. So you should accept everything favorable for Krishna consciousness and reject everything unfavorable. So reject everything unfavorable, reject the company of unholy people, and only associate with devotees. So, and that's a very important verse. Anya bilasita sunyam gyanakarma dhyanavrtam anukuyena krishnada sonam bhaktir uttamam. Bhaktir uttama means supreme pinnacle of devotional service. That's a very important verse. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. This explains what is pure devotional service. Okay, or any question? I think our time is up.
Gopal Prabhu, you want to ask the question? So yes, go ahead, Prabhu. If you want to unmute and ask, that might be better. Okay, if not, I'll just read that for you then.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, please.
My dear Guru Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Uh, Generally, we are surrounding with those people who have material desires because we need to live with them. Very few moments are there of association of devotees. So how can we maintain our uh, Krishna consciousness?
Well, that's a good question. And the answer is that you associate with those unholy people professionally. You don't become intimate with them, like, going to lunch with them and going to parties with them and things like that. That would be that would be associating with them or having their sangha, right? But if you avoid, you know, uh, the parties, the uh, and outings. Sometimes they'll take a group of workers on these outings so that they bond, right? And
Hmm.
you're intimately associating with them on those escapades, and all that type of close association should be avoided. And then the I don't know if you do this, but some years ago it became a very prominent thing. The 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 uh, uh, the CEOs would force the workers to go on a bonding trip.
Yes, team building activities.
Yeah, team building. Yeah, and you got to stay with them, for days sometimes.
Mm.
Uh, so you want to, so you definitely want to avoid situations like that,
Okay.
and you should always avoid situations where people, having a good time drinking, champagne or whatever, or going to a bar. Like oftentimes, they'll have dinners in these bars, or they invite the workers to come to these bars to have a dinner, and it's a very bad association. You were
Okay.
going to say something else, Prabhu?
Maharaj ji, uh,
Yes.
in my case, my whole family members are not devoted to Krishna, like mother, father, and others also. So how can we deal with them also? Because other people we can have association like in professional way, but family member, how can?
Well, I mean, your mother and father, they live in India or they live in Seattle?
Yeah, Prabhuji
No,
is
no,
also in India.
we are
What?
Indian. We are Indian.
Prabhuji is also living in India.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
speaking from India now.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So I mean, they know you're a devotee, right?
Yes.
And your wife is also a devotee.
No, I am unmarried.
Oh, you're not married.
Guru
Okay,
Maharaj.
you're lucky.
And he has.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, uh, do you live with your mother and father, or
Sorry.
do you live with your mother and father?
Yes. Uh,
Okay, in the
uh,
same house. In the same
Same
house.
house. Yes, yes. It's same house only, Maharaj.
Okay. How old are you?
30 years.
How many?
30.
Oh, 30. Okay, so you're not married.
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, does your mother cook for you every day?
Hmm. Yes, Guru Maharaj.
And is your mother and father are your mother and father both like vegetarians?
Like in India, they are worshipping other demigods also. So, uh,
Are they vegetarians?
yes, yes, Guru Maharaj. We all are.
Okay, so are they making offerings to the demigods?
Uh, Sorry.
Are they offering the food to the demigods?
Ha, yes, 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 Guru Maharaj.
You can't teach them to make the offerings of the food to Krishna?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
So they are offering the food to Krishna?
Yes. Like in
Not,
our altar, there are lot of demigods
oh, they
with
got all the
Krishna also.
demigods. Yeah,
Huh.
okay.
So we have Krishna also and others also with them. So they collectively offer all of them. So they are
Okay.
chanting the name of Krishna while offering food. But it's like particularly I want to
But
ask
wait a minute.
question.
What's the situation of the altar? Uh, are they all on the same, level, or do they put like Krishna above the demigods? How is it?
I I personally put Krishna above, and
Okay. Yeah.
there there will no objection from my family members, so they are okay with it.
Okay. So what they should do uh, is it your mother that's doing the offerings?
Ji.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Okay. So does she know the prayers that we
yes,
say? Okay.
yes.
So then, after she offers the food to Krishna, then she should make another offering to the demigods. She shouldn't just make one offering. She should first offer to Krishna and then offer to the demigods.
Mhm.
And, I don't think she does that, right?
Yes, I do.
So she should learn to do that. Then it's bona fide. When
Mhm.
you offer first to Krishna and then you make a second offering of the same food, of the same plate, but now you offer it to the demigods. So now you're pleasing the devas also.
Mhm.
It's not the same plate.
Yeah,
I mean, can she first offer to Krishna
yeah,
and then offer to the demigods, or
yes.
is it has to be a separate plate?
No, no, same plate.
Same. So she just has to start from
You want the demigods to eat Krishna Prashadam. Yeah. And they want it too. So if she does that, then that's correct. That's how to respect the demigods by offering them prashadam that has first been offered to Krishna.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you all partake of the prashadam.
Ji. Yes, Guru.
So where were we though? What were we talking about? We were talking about
So it's
How
like
to?
how do we stay in Krishna consciousness while dealing with materialistic people?
well, it sounds like his mother and father are not really heavy duty materialists.
Yeah, they're following vegetarianism. It's just I think they have this attachment to the demigod worship.
No, but there's a correct way to worship the demigods. First, you offer the food to Krishna, and then it becomes prashadam, and now you offer that prashadam to the demigods. So that's bona fide. You don't have to offer them on a new plate or a separate, plates or anything like that. You offer the same. Now it's become prashadam. Now you offer that prashadam to the demigods, and now you can partake of it yourself. So that's the correct way to worship the demigods, and the demigods will be very happy if you do that. You don't have to make a separate new offering. You offer Krishna prasadam to the demigods.
Okay.
Is that what your mother does already, or what?
I
Or
don't
she?
know.
Well, now you should find out. And this is the
Okay.
correct way. This is the correct way to honor the demigods by giving them food that has been first offered to Radha and Krishna, and now you offer their prasadam to the demigods, and then after that you partake of the prasad.
Okay.
There's always a right way and a wrong way, you know. So if you think all is one, that's wrong. But if you first offer the food to Radha and Krishna, and then you take that prasadam, the same plate, and you offer it to the demigods as prasadam, now you're doing the right thing. And you'll be blessed not only by Krishna, but all the demigods will bless you because they want Krishna prasadam. So you can explain that to your mom and pop.
Y- Yes, bro. I will.
Haribol. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
We'll end the session for today, and I'll continue in the morning.
Yeah. If there are no more questions, then we will say good night.